All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where got an update about Gervonta Tank Davis and his team. Good news, and for some people, other people, bad news. But let's talk about that. Who Gervonta Davis is rumored to be fighting next, and an update on his training camp in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where we've got some updates on some things we've been talking about on the channel for a while, specifically Gervonta Davis's team and the status of his team and what he's going to be doing next and who most likely he's going to fight. Got some word on that out there on the street, so we'll chop it up about that. Before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. Thank you to everybody that supports and sponsors videos like this through the super thanks. Mattiol, I see you, brother. Thank you so much. D. Murray, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Unadulterated Truth. Thank you, guys. Jeff Miller, I ain't seen you in a while, but brother, thank you so much for the time that you've sponsored as well. And anybody else that I'm missing, thank y'all. But let's get into it because got good news. First things first. Gervonta Davis, as you know, has trainer Calvin Ford. And Calvin Ford, as it was reported a couple weeks ago, had been arrested on some charges related to some charges in Nevada and had been held in Baltimore and was waiting extradition to Nevada. But it appears as if he has been let out, that he has been freed, and the state of Nevada did not come pick him, did not bring him, have him go to Nevada. And so I do believe he's out now. And since he's out now and he says that he is innocent of what he's been accused of, then looks like Gervonta Davis's camp and fight camp should be able to begin soon for whoever it is that he is going to fight next. Now, there are people that are speculating about who that would be. Now, to tell you the truth, it's really not hard to speculate about who it would be because Gervonta Davis is the WBA world champion. And as the WBA world champion, you know that more than likely he's going to be fighting somebody that is ranked in the WBA. And if you look at the rankings, if you look at the ranking system and you look at the availability of the fighters that are out there, you are talking about guys like Frank Martin. You are talking about Isaac Cruz. You're talking about Rayo Valenzuela, who I do believe is number 6, right? But most of the other people that are ranked by the WBA are either very, very obscure fighters that do not fight for the PBC or on major network TV in the United States, or they are with another promotional company like Vasily Lomachenko, who's ranked in the top 5, but yet already has another fight scheduled. So if you look at the available people, you're talking about either Isaac Cruz or you're talking really about Rayo Valenzuela. Many people are saying that it is going to be Rayo Valenzuela. And look, I understand why people say, well, that's not the absolute best fight that we can get for Gervonta Davis. This is my thing, man. And I'm going to continue to say it over and over again because I've learned this over the last couple years. I don't think having a fighter only fight the absolute best guy is any way, shape, or form a realistic goal for boxing fans or boxers themselves. And matter of fact, I don't even think that it is good for the sport for fighters to only fight the absolute best fighter every single solitary time out. And why do I say that? Number one, if you do that, and depending on, let's just say we can agree on who the best is, which is a hurdle to that also. because some of these guys are very good fighters, but you may not agree that one guy is a very good fighter, and I may say he is a very good fighter. There is some narrative going on around. I hate that word, but I'm going to use it. That anybody with a Latino last name none of them are good fighters. Like Ray Moratala is not a good fighter. Rayo Valenzuela is not a good fighter. Edwin De Los Santos is not a good fighter. Hector Garcia is not a good fighter. Ryan Garcia, for some crazy reason, is not a good fighter, right? Because you want to see Gervonta or somebody else fight a particular person. So if it's not that particular person, whoever that person is that he fights is not good enough. But what happens when that takes place? You get a situation like Errol Spence, who is always giving you just the best fighter he can find, and you wind up being inactive for long periods of time. And you wind up having a situation where you don't ever really get fights where you were able to improve yourself by fighting against different styles of people and preparing yourself to fight the top guys. One person that does this on a regular basis is Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford ain't nowhere nay, shape, or form fighting the best guy every single solitary timeout. However, when he gets to the big fights that he did have, he was prepared for it because he was more active. He's more active, and he was fighting different styles of people, preparing for the fights that he was going to have. That is an age-old technique to have a fighter improve over time. But the main reason that I say that is not for the fighter's good, but it's for my good. I want to see these guys in the ring. I would prefer to see these guys fight 2, 3, 4 times a year. 4 times a year is probably too much, but 2 times a year, 3 times a year, because you're able to actually get better. Look at what happened with Deontay Wilder and Joseph Parker, where Deontay Wilder over the course of a year had 1 round and Joseph Parker had fought 3 times. Joseph Parker, if Deontay Wilder had fought 3 times, he probably would have knocked out Joseph Parker if he was more active. Anthony Joshua, just by virtue of being more active, has rejuvenated his career, but more importantly, has actually had people able to keep himself in front of people. And I can say, hey, man, I saw 3 Anthony Joshua fights. Jermaine Franklin, Robert Helenius, and Otto Wallen, all of them in 2023. But again, I saw Deontay Wilder for 1 round against half a round last year against Robert Helenius. And then he comes into this year and he looks completely flat and dry against Joseph Parker. Now the fight that I wanted to see with Anthony Joshua is now at risk. So people that are continually saying, well, no, I don't want to see Rayo Valenzuela versus Gervonta Davis, or I don't want to see Edwin De Los Santos or Raymond Moratala against him. I just want to see him go to 140 and fight Devin Haney. Man, I just don't think that that's realistic. And I don't think it doesn't make boxing any more enjoyable, man. These guys need to stay active. And if you're going to stay active, sometimes you're going to fight guys that are not the best. Ali fought a bunch of guys. When Ali was a heavyweight, he fought guys like guys that were not at the absolute top of the heavyweight division. He fought but he stayed very, very active, right? And he also fought the guys who were at the top of the division. He didn't just only fight Frazier, only fight Foreman, only fight Norton, right? He fought Ron Lyle. He fought Ron Lyle, who was in there. He fought other guys that were not absolutely at the top. Same thing goes for Floyd Mayweather Jr. But I think people just set this standard on people that is not realistic. And again, for me, Gervonta just gave me a really good fight. Gave me 2 good fights that I wanted to see last year. Can I see the dude 3 times this year? Waiting around and sitting there I'm going to wait around until I get the Devin Haney fight and he agrees to either move up to 140 or I go down to 135, or let me wait around to see if Bob Arum will let Shakur Stevenson out of his contract, or Lomachenko. Let me wait around for Lomachenko to get done with George Kambosos, and maybe then I'll fight. We won't see Gervonta Davis until 2025 doing that. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.